for example, go and buy a boat outside the country and then use it inside the country, there's got to be some method for them to not avoid essentially the tax of buying American, more or less.
You're exactly right. And that's what we call a use tax. So sales and use taxes are piggybacked with one another, just like estate and gift taxes are. All right. So the Congress imposes an estate tax. You say, okay, I'll just avoid the estate tax by giving away all my stuff before I die. Well, that's when the gift tax kicks in. So estate and gift taxes operate in tandem. Sales and use taxes operate in tandem. And we see this in states across the country. Minnesota, for example, has an 8% sales tax, 8.5% or 8.25%, whatever it is. And you say, well, I'll just buy my goods in Wisconsin where they got a 5% sales tax. Well, the use tax requires you, when you bring something in like an automobile, a boat, any of these types of things, you buy it out of state, you bring it into the state. Well, guess what? You got to pay the use tax to the state of Minnesota, which is basically figured at the difference between the tax you paid in state A and the tax you would have paid in state B. When we're talking about import duties, we don't really have that problem because the taxes are assessed at the point of purchase when they're brought into the
Sure.
United States. Now, I suppose in the example that you just gave of, you buy a boat in the Bahamas and you bring it into Miami. Well, at that point it becomes registered in Miami. That's where a use tax would kick in at that point in time. The problem that we're talking about is the practicality of raising $6.5 trillion, which was the federal budget last year, in external taxes. It's